One. Hey, welcome back to the Nets. I'm the home of unbiased views. With me today is Samved and Elroy, and a different section that we are trying to come up with for when it comes to Arsenal. But before we go anywhere, guys, if you have come this far, please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That would help us a lot. And give us a shout out if you can. That would help us as well. So with me is Elroy and Samved. Hello, guys.
Hi, Keyur. Long time.
It's been a while,
Hey,
isn't it?
Samved.
Elroy,
Yeah.
you're up. You're
So
the celebrity one.
yes, I'll take it
So,
from here. Yes. Yeah, so let me take it forward from here. So guys, this is a new segment where we are going to be talking about an Arsenal game from the past. We will be talking about our experience while watching that match, how it was, and maybe we'll discuss about the match as well, how things went out. This has been, I have been inspired with this idea from Jonathan Wilson has a podcast called The Blizzard, where they call in various writers and people in the football industry, and they discuss one match in random, and it's very interesting. And this would be a good opportunity for us to, discuss some of the matches which we watched, and maybe have a special memory with happened when we were watching it, how our mood was, or how the Arsenal's mood was. And maybe we can expand it beyond Arsenal in the future as well. So let's see how this goes. And for today, we have a very, very special Arsenal match, which was suggested by Samved itself. And that goes back to February 2011 of Arsenal versus Barcelona, where Arsenal defeated Barcelona 2-1 in the Champions League knockout stage. It was one of those matches which we'll remember for various reasons. It was one of the Emirates era classics, when your Arsenal faced a peak prime Barcelona, and the match was just simply superb. So Samved, since you suggested this, what was your build up towards the game? How did it go for you while watching this?
First of all, it was in the good old days where top four was guaranteed for us. I mean, we didn't have to worry about
Yeah.
anything. We knew that top four would be guaranteed. Going into the match, the expectations were super low. Nobody gave us a chance. I believe that, there there wouldn't have been a larger section of Arsenal fans who would have expected us to actually beat Barcelona. I think at best we would have hoped for a draw, maybe a 1-1, considering the kind of form that Barcelona were in. So, it was an exceptional result. I remember staying up for the whole match here. We haven't experienced UCL nights for a while now.
Yeah.
So, it was really, it's very difficult to put it in words, because especially when you really have no expectations whatsoever, but you are just awake, for the sake of it, because you are a fan.
Yeah.
You want
Yeah.
to watch each and every match, especially when you're in college, you don't have to worry about work and
Yeah.
everything. So it was just, it was for me as a fan, it was just watching the match for formality's sake. But as soon as the match started, you could feel that there was something in this game. We weren't going to just roll over and let Barcelona kill us completely.
Yeah.
So that is my memory for it from this match. We'll get into the details of the match itself maybe a little later in this segment.
Yeah. Yeah, and when you talk about Arsenal facing Barcelona, if I'm not wrong, Arsenal had played Barcelona the previous season itself, and that was the game where we drew 2-2 at home, and that was a game where you see that Barcelona completely dominated us. Like, we had a late comeback in scoring 2 goals and equalizing toward the end. So the style of play probably matched, but Barcelona was a very, very superior team back then. Like, they
Definitely.
were the best team in Europe.
Yeah, I remember the Champions League final at Wembley. I believe it was against Man United. They had completely
Yes.
dominated, I believe more than 70% possession. Man United didn't even stand a chance. And if I'm not wrong,
Yeah.
Ronaldo was also in the team at that time.
No,
Cristiano.
I think the previous, yes, correct. So,
That was the
what
prime.
was your
That was possibly the best team in Europe that at least I had seen.
yes? It was difficult to ever, how to say, counteract them. Barcelona on the ball possession was like really the team to beat that way. And
Definitely.
Keyur, what
Yeah.
was your story behind this?
So I came in with the game surprisingly with a little bit of a hope. Van Persie was red hot in the Premier League at that time.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you guys do remember the previous game. I mean, it was within the last 2 weeks, I think, where we had that amazing 4-4 draw with Newcastle as well. It was the same
Newcastle,
season.
yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we had, I think, beaten Wigan before that 3-0. Then Everton was 2-1 after that. Then came the
Yeah.
4-4 draw, which was again where why doesn't Wenger go with marking? You know, why is the whole
Yeah.
Wenger era? And it was one of
Zonal
the
marking, man
under
marking. Yeah.
Wenger, where we
Mm.
were, I think, number one in November for a week's time, and then we came back down again. But right before this game was when we had when we had won against Wolves as well, 2-0. So we came into the
2-0,
game with
yes.
a little bit of a momentum, but again, it was probably the best Barcelona team ever to, or probably the best team that has ever played a Champions League. I
Yeah.
do remember being in. I think I was here at that time and watching the game on the score. I was working, so I had my game on, and it was like everything came down crashing after I saw the first. I didn't see the game live; it was recorded, but I saw the
Oh,
first
okay.
time that David Villa scored, and I was like, okay, so we know
That's
where
it.
this
Yeah.
is. So let's just. So
Yeah.
that was what I remember from those games. But the
Okay.
good thing was right before this, my mom had been to London, and she had actually asked me for which jersey would you like me to send. So she had shipped me from London. And I had, for
Oh,
some reason, said, let's do R7 because a new buy. Let me get R7. So that shirt I do have with me still, the
Wow.
R7 jersey that my mom had sent me from London. She had been to the Emirates store and she had bought it from there. So those were my memories that I actually came back home after work and was like,
oh, wow.
this is the jersey that I have to wear today, R7. So yeah, those were my memories of that game that I remember.
Oh,
What about you, Elroy?
yes. Okay. Now I have a very, very interesting story for you guys. So I was in my first year of my college. It was my second semester. And this was around, I think the match, if I'm not wrong, was around February 15th or 16th or something that way.
Yeah.
Now I used to live in a PG, stay as a guest, and that was like 2 hours away from where my actual house was because it's close to my college. Now I traveled home in the previous day. Okay. And the next day of the match, I had an internal exam, a 20-mark paper. So I traveled I traveled on the day of the match itself. So my classes got over at 5. I reached home at 7 and I had a bath and stuff and started to study. And this match being February, I guess it was still at a 1:15 kickoff. So I
Mhm.
studied till around 1 o'clock, like studied quite a bit. But who can study at that point of time? Because see, at the end of the day, it was Arsenal versus Barcelona. And one thing about this match was both the teams were known to play free flowing football. Both the teams played beautiful football. And even though there was a gulf in quality, it was, the build up of the game was two of the best, most attractive teams that playing style of two teams playing football that way. And it was obviously, Arsene Wenger versus Pep Guardiola, Arsenal, Barcelona. It was just a match which, for a neutral fan also, it was something that you would like to watch. So I came at 1:15. I started to watch, and as Keyur pointed out, VR scored in the 26th minute or something that way, and I'm like, oh god, this doesn't seem to be ending well. And finally, Arsenal somehow come back, and we went 2-1, and it was such a fantastic feeling. Match got over at 3:30, 3:15, but I probably would have slept at 4. Slept for 2 hours, woke up at 6 o'clock, traveled another 2 hours to go back to my college, answered my internal exam, and I happened to get 20 out of 20 for that for that exam. So that period of 24 hours was just something which cannot be explained. It was just simply superb. These are the nights, these are the moments you wait to tell, and this is an opportunity where I get to tell the story. It was just a fantastic feeling to have. So yeah. And yeah, so that is how it was. Personally, it is a match which will remain, which all of us will remember. And you see, as KU again pointed out, that was a match where Arsenal were, in general, back when we won this game, we were in the hunt for the title. We were in a very good spot. We were
Yeah,
still in the FA Cup. We were going to play the back then Carling Cup finals. We were still in the Champions League. Like everything was there to be won. And this was the match for me which we hit the peak. After this match, nothing was ever the same. Everything went on. But this match was the peak of that season. But at the end of the day, we do remember this match. And yeah, so that is how it revolved around the season. But Samved, now let me get back to you. One person who till date is remembered for that match, and that is Jack Wilshere. He had a fantastic match. Do you remember what was your take about Jack Wilshere in that game, or any player as a matter of fact that way?
You know, I've seen the Invincibles. I've been following Arsenal since 2002. With the Invincibles, it was more about, you could see that each and every player had an aura around them. And
Yeah.
Bergkamp, Ljungberg, Henry, everyone collectively put in so much that it was very difficult to single out one player. Okay, this guy was maybe at a different level from the other team. But when you saw this game, it was just something exceptional. Seeing Jack Wilshere play like that, and he wasn't your typical Arsenal midfielder. Those huge, big guys, tall guys who would
Yeah.
just roll over other teams. So we at least for me, I wasn't used to seeing such short guys completely dominating, and especially a team like Barcelona. They had possibly the best midfield at that time. And I
Yeah.
recently remember Jack Wilshere tweeted something about somebody had
Yeah.
asked him about this game. So
Yeah.
did you learn anything from blah blah blah? So he said, sorry, I don't remember learning. They were in my pocket or
Yeah.
something like that. He tweeted. So
Yeah.
that is perhaps the best way of putting it. He,
Yeah.
from amongst all the star players that were on the pitch that night,
Yeah.
including Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, for a player like Jack Wilshere, to be the standout player, it
Exactly.
really
It's
it was quite something.
yeah.
I really remember I was completely blown away just seeing his performance. I
Yeah.
had till that date I hadn't seen somebody play like that, especially against a team like Barcelona, because we
Yeah.
had faced them in the Champions League final, then in the knockout stages the season
Yeah.
before. To put in a performance
Yeah.
like that, it was really quite special.
Yeah. And of course, Jack Wilshere being an English player to have such a,
Mhm.
I mean, English were generally not known to have such creative, European kind of players. When he did step up, and as you said, you're facing a prime Barca, which has in its midfield consists of Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta. Like, how do you compete? And this guy has stood up to all those three, short, tiny, very creative, very 18-year-old kid who has stood up to them and dominated that middle area of the pitch was something. It was a match where everybody welcomed Jack Wilshere to the big boys of the footballing world, and it's sad that the way
Definitely.
things ended for him with his injuries and all, but he will always be remembered for that match because it's definitely a performance worth talking. And Kayur, any other player that stood out for you, or any other player you want to talk about, or anyone else with regards to that match?
For me, I would definitely give a big shout out for that game, especially for Samir Nasri. I mean, do agree that he did not really come up on the score sheet, but because Wilshere was doing
Yeah.
this, we actually saw two or three players stepping up around him. Fabregas was having a brilliant game. Nasri as
Yeah.
well on the wings was brilliant on that throughout. Percy was in a red hot form, but as you said, Wilshere was he had taken it to the next level on that game. For me, that pass, that one touch pass, I think it was Koscielny for the second goal that passed it on to Wilshere, and then Wilshere, Fabregas made that long pass, diagonal pass to was it Nasri in the end who crossed it
Yeah.
to
Nasri,
Arsene.
yes.
That little segment right
Nasri,
there was
yes.
like prime
Yes.
Arsene Wenger. It was like, this is what free flowing football was about. And it
Yeah.
was if you were watching football for the first time, you would fall
Yeah.
in love with that game. It was like that kind of music, poetry in motion. But for me, yes, I feel that these two
Yeah.
guys were pretty much
Exactly.
a part of all setup. And of course, I remember that goals began to happen when Bendner was substituted. So again, kudos to
Yeah.
Bendner. Bendner somehow comes on the field and
Bendner
something
was-
happens. So yeah.
I also, Szczesny had also made quite a few very important saves in
Yeah.
that game, especially towards the end. And Szczesny wasn't the most reliable keeper at that time.
Uh,
So I just believe that the entire team, they had taken their game possibly to the peak.
yeah.
Everyone
Quite a
played
few.
at the best level possible. that particular
Yes.
game.
And to
Yeah.
begin with, Elro, I don't remember if you saw that, but
Yeah.
to begin with, the first
Yeah. I
few
think
7 to 8 minutes, I think we were dominating the game.
Mhm.
Fabregas, Walcott doing his thing in the beginning, and then
we were
uh,
dominating. Yes, we were definitely. Yes. Yeah. They were because we created 2, 3 chances, if I'm not wrong, before took over. But so that is what I when he rose to the occasion, in my opinion, was like as KU said, Chesney was good, but Chesney had just he got into the team that season in an FA Cup
Mhm.
match where Wenger put him in, and that's when he established himself as a first team. But for me, the player who stepped up from that game onwards, even though the cup final there was a mistake, was Laurent Koscielny.
Mhm.
Koscielny, it was his first season at the club, and he was a player who got kind of bullied around. He made quite a few mistakes, but that Barca match where he was a centre back along with Giroud, where they kept. I wouldn't say kept Messi quiet, but yeah, they didn't allow Messi to score at the end. But his performance in that game is where Laurent Koscielny said, Arsenal welcomes Laurent Koscielny in that game. From that game onwards, Koscielny became a solid defender, and step by step he became more reliable. Yes, I agree the Birmingham match was there, which was a bad one, but for me it was the Barca game where Koscielny actually showed signs of what he was capable of and
Mhm.
what he ended up becoming as a very, very reliable and solid centre back. So for me, if I had to give one shout out, guys, let's move on to the game. Okay, so I'll just read out the lineup. Now you just take a look at this Barcelona lineup. It has Victor Valdez in goal, a keeper who was in very, very good form. Right back was Danny Alves, one of the best right backs at that point of time. You have PK and Abidal, and left back was Maxwell. In the midfield, you had a trio of Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta. Again, the best three you can have in the midfield at that point of time for possession wise. And a front three of Messi, Villa, and Pedro. Like, this was the team we were facing. And our team was Chesney as a goalkeeper. We had Eboué, Koscielny, Giroud, and Clichy. If you look back at it now on paper, that is a that defense facing Barcelona is something. In front of them, we had Song and Wilshere, and then a front midfield three, which was really good of Walcott, Fabregas, and an informed Nasri, who had the best season at Arsenal, and of course Van Persie, who again had the best season of his, who had started to go into the prime Van Persie season.
Mhm.
So let's just discuss how the game went. Anyone, if you want to take like, okay, you mentioned at the start that yes, the first couple of minutes, Arsenal did dominate and we created a couple of chances till Barca took over. How did the game go on for you then? What else do you remember
again,
of that
I
that game?
most of my memories with that was with the phone as the games was getting, as the game was being played. I was actually
Yeah.
in the office, and my boss was a Russian. I remember that he was a Russian guy who hated Barcelona with everything that he had. So he would
Oh.
come and talk to me once in a while about how how he wanted Arsenal to crush them, and he said it's unlikely, but it's not. I mean, but I would want somebody to embarrass Barcelona. And I was so in love with my boss, and it's really hard for me to say that, but I actually liked him on that day. And it was I was watching it where there was, I think, a cross where Song couldn't get his header in, and it could have been an
Yeah.
easy tap in that from a free kick. Then there was that, and now when I see it, I realize how brilliant it was for that play outside the box where Walcott dribbled past three defenders, passed it on to Fabregas, who chipped it
Yes.
over, and
Mhm.
Percy hit it directly at
To Van
Valdez.
Persie.
Yeah. So I was
Yeah.
watching that, and then I was like, okay, this is the worst when Arsenal start dominating. This is when they concede, and the game goes downhill after that.
Yeah.
And the next update I got was when David Villa scored. And if it
Yeah.
happened now, I would say that would have been counted as offside. But
Mhm.
Barcelona has always been favored by the referees, and some people may agree, some people may not agree. But Barcelona always gets a 50-50 decision, always goes in favor of Barcelona. But
Especially
I,
especially when they've lost the first leg
And it did
and
happen
the
in the
referee
second
yeah,
leg.
referee has to send off players,
Yeah.
yes.
just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
That did
for me
happen.
was like,
Yeah.
that was when I was like, okay, this game is done. Then I again saw the update at the 45th minute because the phone buzzes that it's a halftime. It gives you notifications of halftime, so nothing significant had happened in that period. And then again, when the second half began, I think we again were playing pretty good. It was the crowd that
Mhm.
was backing us in. we weren't having a bad game
Yeah,
as
yeah, the crowd did have an impact. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were also good in the final
Messi
third.
had quite a few chances, yeah, but we managed to take the ball away from him, from in the
Yes,
dangerous areas.
yes, and we were pretty good in the final
yeah,
third as well. I remember.
yeah. And
Mhm.
actually, Messi had quite a few chances, and yeah. Yeah. No, actually, Messi did miss a couple of chances. Messi had some really, really good chances in this
Mhm.
game, and he did miss those, including one goal which he scored. And for some reason, I don't know, the ref blew it for an offside, I guess. This was when it was
Yes.
1-0, and Barca would have been 2-0, and it would have changed the game. But then, yeah, that was one turning point for sure. And yeah, actually, the goal came with Barca dominating at that point of time. So it was no surprise. It just felt at that point of time, the way Barca were pulling their passes and the way they were clicking, okay, this is going to be really, really difficult. I don't think anybody saw us coming back at that point of time, at least. But then it is football after all. So, Samved, carrying on from the
Mhm.
way the game went, what else happened that you remember and how it went on?
Like you said, in the second half again we started off well, but then Barca got into their groove. They started dominating the possession completely, except for maybe a few times where Jack Wilshere managed to intercept a few passes, a few sliding tackles here and there. What I remember after that is that Van Persie goal out of nowhere. Nobody really expected, and the angle from which he
Yeah.
scored. I mean, it was impossible. Nobody could even imagine that
The
a
angle,
player
yeah.
can beat Victor Valdes on his near post like that. It was such a beautiful goal to just to witness that, and
Yeah.
from there on you could see, with the crowd really behind the players, you could sense that Arsenal might be
The
actually
crowd, yeah.
pull off an unlikely win here, and it just it showed in the way we played after the game.
Yeah.
We got a little reckless because we gave Messi quite a few chances even after that. I think Chesney made, if
Yeah.
I'm not wrong, he made a couple of very good saves, and maybe one or two were just
He
hit
did,
straight
yes.
at him. But
Yes, yes, yeah.
I mean, knowing a keeper like that, it is a young
Yeah.
keeper like that. It is very easy to fumble with David Villa and Pedro lurking
Yeah.
around you. So in that pressure, I think Chesney kept us in the
Yeah.
game, especially after that goal, because it happens with Arsenal. It was under Wenger. After we scored a
Yeah.
goal, we would just go on the offensive. Just forget that there's a part in football which is called defending, and
Offense to
everyone
get
would just,
the win.
yes. So I remember that, and
Yeah.
at that time, I guess just maybe a couple
Yeah.
of minutes before the goal, I would have been content with a draw. I was very happy. I was happy that at least maybe there would be something to take into the next leg. You wouldn't be down and out. But yeah, the second goal again, it was something really extraordinary. I mean, just imagine, beating that
Yeah.
Barcelona midfield, their defense, and then finally their keeper
Yeah.
like that. It was again, a very good substitution getting Arshavin on, because I believe, if I
Yeah.
am not
At
wrong,
that
yeah,
point of time, nobody, I mean, Ash, yeah.
yeah, yeah, nobody would have
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
expected, and players did look exhausted, because the thing about Barcelona, especially back then, was that they would make your
Yeah.
midfield work overtime, just to, even if you just wanted to stay in the game, the midfield would have to be on full press all the times. So it was a good tactical change at that time, and it was, some teams, most of the teams, perhaps they would have gone on the defensive and said, fine, okay, let's make a few more defensive substitutions. Maybe let's bring on another defender and let's try to go for a draw. But knowing Wenger, he really sensed something special. He made a few very good tactical substitutions at that time. And that goal, the second goal, was just
Yeah.
brilliant. I remember, just everyone was sleeping in my house. I remember I must have woken up my mom and dad. I was shouting on the top of my voice after the second goal.
I think for us Indian fans at least, or Asian fans in general, like, watching a Champions League match, and if there is a mad movement, it is definitely going to cause a ruckus amongst everybody at home, because we have to watch these matches so late at night. So it is it, and as I say, these are moments you will remember, forever. Like, like these things that happen around. It's not just the match; the things that happen around the match that. Uh,
Yeah, especially
change the
there are
atmosphere.
and especially for Arsenal, there are very few moments like this, especially in Champions League. I remember beating Real Madrid. Then
Yeah,
the moment that really stands out for me is Juan Pablo Riquelme's penalty saved by Jens Lehmann in the semi-final second leg, I believe. And
penalty. Yeah.
those are the moments, and also the Champions League final, us scoring before Barcelona. So very very few moments, and these moments, the games like these,
Yeah.
they really stand out.
For me, one of those things that does stand out is, if you notice, we were playing so good after they had been pretty much getting the ball, and they were 1-0 up the whole time. The good thing that stood up was, because we were playing so
Yeah.
good, Pep Guardiola actually made a defensive substitution. He
Mhm.
took off David Villa and he put up a defensive substitution there. So he was wary of the threat that we posed from our attack.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, Arsene Wenger, who we love and we love to hate as well, for the very same reason that sometimes he doesn't know when to shut shop, and he has cost us many games with that. But
Yeah.
that particular day, all the substitutions that he made were aggressive. He brought in Bendner. He brought in
Yeah.
Arshavin.
Arshavin for Song. So he took off the
Arshavin.
defense and he started putting in more and more attacking players on the
He
midfield.
handbrake. Yeah.
So that was also how
Yeah.
we
So
were able to
yeah.
play with Pep Guardiola's psyche as well on that day. That was brilliant for me.
Exactly. And of course, at the end of the day, the commentary, Arshavin is going to remain
Yes,
as a cult legend, as
Definitely,
a cult
yeah.
story for the rest of our lives. Like, like that was a definitely, it's, and today, till today, people will remember Arshavin for his 4 goals against Liverpool and all, but this is something that nobody is ever going to forget. And, it is
Definitely.
fantastic to have that. Yeah. So, guys, I think this was a very good, flashback to a match. I look forward for us catching up with more. Let's try and get in some other fans also, maybe even from other clubs, and see from a different point of view, maybe another game that we have faced. Or for now, we can just continue with various Arsenal matches. It was great talking and catching up with this match. Good to hear your stories of how you guys saw the match, or how things were, and how Arsenal season was back then. And let's meet up next weekend to catch up with another match, and do the same. So, guys, if you like this section, do like, subscribe to the channel, and comment, give us your feedback. If you have any other matches that you would like us to discuss about, please do share in the comments. So, we are open to feedback. Do let us know what can be improved on, or what needs to be changed. We would be really happy to have your feedback. Keyur,
sounds
would
good.
you
And
like to
before we
conclude?
wrap up, Elroy, just a quick update. We are coming on podcast. We are also starting up with a website for this. Backtothenets.com is what we would intend to call it. The podcast will also be called the same. So please do
Yeah.
keep an eye out for us. We will be sending it out through Twitter handles. At least my Twitter handle is out there, but I will be sending it out to everybody. So thank you, Elroy. Thanks, Samved. It was a brilliant session. I loved this. Different
Thanks,
sections,
Same
guys.
here.
reliving the memories.
Yeah.
So
Same here. Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, that's all that we have for everybody, guys. Wherever
Cheers,
you
guys.
guys are, stay healthy,
Yes.
stay safe. We will talk to you guys shortly. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye bye.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. See you all.
Thanks.
Bye bye.